Hi, this is Derek with MostInterestingLife.com, and today we're talking about people who do versus people who judge. Now, most people in the world are typically either doers or they are judgers. Rarely are they both. And what I mean by that is people who do are people who build things in this world, people who achieve great things, people who build businesses. They might be great artists, they might be athletes, they could be writers, they could be actors. They're people that are out there in the world doing things. They're taking risks, they're doing massive amounts of work, and they're exposing themselves. They're putting themselves out there in the elements in order to achieve things. Whereas people that are judgers, they're usually the people that are sitting on the sidelines, and they usually have a lot to say about the people that are doers. They sit there, they watch them, they always have an opinion, and they typically achieve very little in the world. Now, most people are judgers. There's a very small percentage of people that are doers in this world. Most people are judgers because it's easier. It's easier to let other people take the risk. Now, if you want to be an interesting person, you want to live an interesting life, you have to be a doer. I mean, that should be obvious. But most people are judgers. You could see this by how popular television is, how people like to just sit on social media and they like to watch other people and critique them, and they like to be where it's safe. They don't want to be out in the arena where the doer is, with sweating, bleeding in the arena, just actually taking action though. The judger likes to sit on the sidelines where it's safe. They always have an opinion about the doers, what they should be doing. Their opinion is typically worthless, but they always have an opinion. Whereas the doers are the few people that are actually getting things done. Now, interesting people, they know what they want, they work hard, they're willing to take risk and put themselves out there. They just either naturally doers or they get in the habit of learning to do things. If you're not in the habit of being a doer, it's something that you can learn to do by taking small actions, like I talk about all the time, building momentum. It's being a doer is often a habit. Some people have higher energy than other people, but anybody could become a doer because they could rewire themselves and get used to doing it. Now, a judger is always looking to poke holes in something that the doer does, and this can be discouraging for a doer. If the doer is looking to start a new project, or even if they achieve something, the judger looks at it and they say, all right, maybe you did that, but you're too greedy. You're too obsessed with whatever you're trying to do. You're too selfish. It's immoral. They're always looking for excuses for themselves to not take action, and they're looking for reasons why what the doer is doing is not that great. They always look to put down, the judgers are always looking to put down the doers, because if they could put everyone down low, it'll make them feel higher. And it's all a matter of comparison. They'd rather be the Lord of the Flies, as long as they're not low compared to everybody else. Doers typically are too busy working on their own goals to care what anyone else is doing. They don't have time to go around judging people. So they don't have time to go around poking holes in other people, in their achievements and what they're working on, because they're focused on their own goals. I mean, focus is everything. That's another thing we always talk about here, is how focus is everything. And if you're constantly focused on what everyone else is doing, all the average masses out there, masses of people, if that's what your focus is on, it's hard to also be focused like a laser on what you want to achieve. Whereas the judgers, their focus is scattered everywhere else. They're just looking for ways to shoot down anyone that they think is looking to achieve themselves, because subconsciously, if anyone achieves anything and somehow gets higher than they are in whatever area of life that they're looking at, it makes them feel bad. It makes them feel lower. So their defense mechanism is to look to make everyone else lower in order for them comparatively to be higher. And there's judges all over the world, and people's ability to succeed is in a direct proportion of how they are unable to allow the critiques of judges get to them. If you care too much what anyone thinks about you, it is very hard for you to achieve anything, because to achieve great success, you typically have to put yourself out there and take risks and act differently than the average person. And you'll also be dealing with the fact that all these judges, they secretly do not want you to succeed. I mean, this is a human, it's a part of human nature. I believe the Germans call it Schadenfreude, where people want other people to fail. Because if you look all around you and you see that everyone else is succeeding and you're not, that makes you feel bad. And judges, this is what defines them. They'll sit there watching TV, they'll be watching a baseball game, or they'll be watching some acting performance, or they'll be talking about how there's some successful businessman who just multiplied his wealth, and they'll be looking for reasons why they should not like that person. They'll say, oh, he's that, but he's immoral, he's too greedy, oh, he doesn't have the right priorities in life. Whereas they themselves are living a pretty miserable existence. The doers are out there achieving great things, or they're living their dream. They're out there engaged, they're passionate. The doers they get there by working hard. They're constantly improving themselves. They're doing all the things that I talk about in these videos or in the articles on mostinterestinglife.com. They're constantly reading. They're constantly working. They're constantly thinking. Doers are constantly using their minds, whereas judges, they don't want to use their minds. They'd rather just do the laziest thing possible, have to think as little as possible. They don't like change. That's another reason why judges are always judging doers, is because doers are looking to change things. They're looking to change the world around them for the better, typically. Whereas the judges, they're scared of change. They don't like change. They want to be in the comfortable reality that they're used to. And so they complain about everything. Judges, they're complaining. They complain because they have time to complain, for one thing. But they also get a rush from just complaining about any sort of change, complaining about doers, complaining about other judges. It's just a very sad life to live. So, I mean, judges, they get nervous if they see a doer doing something. They get nervous because they don't want to do anything. They're too lazy to do anything. They're too scared to do anything. They don't want to take action. And if the doers, are doing things and achieving things all around them, the judges will feel like they have to do something, and they don't like that feeling. They'd rather just sit around in bed or sit on a couch watching TV in their homes. So they're nervous of having to be a doer, whereas a doer wants to be a doer because that's who they are. So ask yourself, when you see other people achieving, when you see other doers in the world, when you see people achieving, where does your mind go first? Does it think, wow, I could learn from this? This is a good thing? Or are they looking to poke holes in what the doers are doing? Or they're looking for excuses, like, oh, they were born wealthy, or they were born with whatever talents. Where does your mind go? Now, it's always good to have a healthy amount of skepticism to a degree, but are you skeptical because you want to figure out, is this something that you can do when you see somebody achieve something? Or are you looking to avoid having to do? It's sort of a deep question, and you'll see that when you see success around you, your mind probably reacts one of those two ways. It's looking to find excuses not to follow the path of success that you see another follow, or it's looking to emulate it, copy it, learn from it, and have success on your own. So try to be more aware of where your mind goes, and obviously look to be more of a doer. If you're watching this channel, you're watching a video like this, you want to achieve, you want to do. So always look to be more of a doer. And try not to be so judgmental, because people who go around judging others, they achieve very little. So if you like this video, give it a like, leave a comment, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. Go to my site, mostinterestinglife.com, and until next time, stay interesting.